What happens to the pioneers when all is said and done? The trailblazers, the settlers. Can we find the pioneers buried under a national monument with an honor guard to pace the ground above and tourists climbing off buses to pay their respects? No, today we can find them where they've lain forgotten, where the Texas wilderness covers the stones that bear their name, where the rain washes those names away year after year, and cattle graze on the grass growing over their graves. Today we'll visit a forgotten cemetery and the ghost of Sterling. Welcome to Calvert, Texas, an old Central Texas town on the highway between Waco and Bryan College Station, dwindling in population year by year. A few miles outside of town on a county road and a quick turn on a dirt road, and we'll find a historical marker and the grave of Judge Calvert himself. For years, to even read the marker, you had to cross a barbed wire fence into a cow pasture. This is the former site of the town of Sterling, founded in the days of the Texas Revolution. The town was moved a few miles east when the railroad came and renamed after the judge. All that remains of Sterling is this empty cow pasture behind the Calvert grave, nothing but undergrowth. Until you look closer. It happened suddenly. Walking through the tall grass, you find 3 gravestones. Among them, one of a 17-year-old who died in Calvert in 1870. These aren't the only ones, though they can be hard to find. The Sterling Cemetery was bulldozed in the 1970s to make room for cattle to graze. The remnants of our Texas past, over 400 pioneers, can be occasionally seen in this almost forgotten place. We find the remains of those who came to Texas when it was wild. Now they are, in the words of a gravestone, gone but not forgotten. The messages these pioneers have left behind are haunting. The last words of Jane McCall, who died in the 1880s, can still be read. "Children, try and meet me in heaven." Here at Sterling, rusting fences protect monuments to a generation. Our children. Among them a Confederate soldier who died at the Battle of Gettysburg. It's sobering to realize that most of the graves we find are those of children, like those of the Little family, found clustered together tightly. This settler was buried along with an infant daughter next to a stone that heartbreakingly reads only, "Infant." Time and the elements are hiding the memory of these settlers day by day. Even under the bright sun, some of the graves are hard to see, like the marker of Della McIntosh, who died when she was 1 year old. Beautiful, lovely, she was but given a fair bud to earth to blossom in heaven. Della had little time to make her mark on this world, and the physical reminder of her presence is slowly being forgotten, like many others at Sterling. Few of the stones still stand, and those that remain, even half buried, tell a story. For instance, here we find the Erringers, among them 3 children, sharing a single stone, Anne, August, and Henry. Once again, we realize how dangerous the frontier was for the young. We also remember that Texas was a land of immigrants, looking for a brighter future. Some of their stones are in a native tongue. And some don't have stones at all, just wooden markers, worn smooth with time. Time has not been kind to the people who challenged the Texas wilderness and settled here. Our memories of their stories are fading with the names on their stones. For instance, away from the grove, almost in the pasture, we find the stone of Charlie Kelly, who died at Camp Bowie in 1917. A black man drafted into service during the First World War, he would have been set to work building the primitive facilities at Camp Bowie, laboring, in other words, rather than soldiering, for an army still segregated. Charlie's draft card tells an interesting tale. When asked his race, he simply answered, "American." We don't know how he died, though disease laid low hundreds of men at Camp Bowie. Don't know. Only the bare facts remain, hidden under bushes in a pasture. Today, the Calvert Historical Foundation seeks to restore and care for Sterling for posterity, bringing the story of the McCalls, the Littles, the Erringers, Della McIntosh, and Charlie Kelly to future generations. If you find yourself on the right country back road, it's more than worth a look.